Yo, how's it going? These are some things I wish I knew when I started lifting. Um, your first year is your most important year. That's where you're getting all the newbie gains. That's where you can gain like a lot of fucking muscle and a lot of fucking strength. Really fast. Okay, really fast. You just gotta do it good, consistently. And if you want to make even more progress, do it right. So that's what this whole video is about. Things you should start. Right into it with the first one. Form. Form is key, absolute key to anything. Form, when you do it, like say military press, right? Going up for your military press. Go down, get to a good angle, explode up. Military press, essential. Like, and then there's tempo, and then there's pause reps. There's so much stuff to it, right? And doing it right is key. Like flies, lateral raises, have a good form with that stuff. Watch a couple YouTube videos, get some tips from some of the bigger guys around there. Don't be afraid, they don't care. And just really try to hone your form, because your form is what keeps you good reps and helps you lift sustainably and lift right, so you're actually hitting the muscle. You're not doing, you're not doing like crazy gym bro reps, right? You want to control. That's what you want. Or if you do like a curl, right? You don't want to, you want to strict, and then your bicep will get bigger faster, right? Some tips and sustainability, right? You just want to be sustainable. You want to lift for longer. That's the goal, right? The next one. Okay, you got your form figured out. Progressive overload, right? Once you have the form figured out, start implicating progressive overload, because as you go up in weight, you're going to gain strength. Your body's adapts. Your body's built for adapting. That's why we get smarter. That's why when we hit our head on like a door or something, right? We recognize the door's there. We don't hit our head on it again, right? Your body's going to adapt with your muscles in that way, right? It's like, okay, he's lifting heavier weight. We need to get bigger and stronger. Progressive overload, right there. Obviously, as you get into it more, it gets a lot more complicated and you got to switch it up. But for the first like 3-4 years, progressive overload, key to getting bigger on anything. So like every week, up it by 2.5 pounds, 5 pounds. And you're on a steady increase where you're going to get very strong and you're going to look very muscular on the way, right? So the next one, this one's a little bit more complicated and harder to explain. And for a lot of you newbies, I mean, it's hard to understand because you don't have a lot of muscle to work with to feel it. But mind muscle connection is actually a game changer, right? It's like, instead of when you curl, just like instead of pulling the weight up, you're feeling the muscle working, feeling it pull up the weight. Like flexing muscle. Like say you're doing a chest fly, you come in and you squeeze, right? You squeeze. You want to feel the squeeze. You don't want to just pull it in, right? It's very straightforward at first, lifting weight up and down. But when you really focus on the pause and the squeeze and you feel your muscles working and you push the weight up, it helps a lot. And it helps with hypertrophy especially, because then you can feel the stretching, you can feel the tearing of muscles, you can feel, obviously don't want to tear it, but you can feel the muscle getting worked, and that's important, right? It helps you focus on just that muscle you're trying to work on. Like if you're doing tricep extensions, a lot of people, right when you get to failure, you get your shoulders in there. You don't want that. That's why focus on feeling it right in the tricep, right? Key, okay? Mind-muscle connection doesn't have to be mastered immediately because everybody's getting into it and it's a little more complicated. But like Jay Cutler talks about this, Ronnie's talked about it. Literally anybody who's big and knows about weightlifting will tell you about mind-muscle connection and feeling the weight. Yeah, but key. So be on top of it. Next, didn't touch on this one. This one is very important. Okay, protein. For you guys that are dummies with it, which we've all been there, protein is key. And carbs and fats for hormonal health. But protein, eat protein to body weight ratio. Unless you're like 500 pounds, then obviously you're not all muscle. So eat more like 100, 200 grams of protein if you're that big, right? You gotta consume protein. You gotta consume enough carbs to build that muscle, right? If you just work out and say your maintenance is 2,000 calories and you're eating 2,000 calories, but like more than half of that is carbs and you're consuming maybe 100 grams worth of protein and you're 150 pounds. You don't have enough protein in your body to grow that muscle or get stronger, right? You just don't. That's why eating is key in order to get bigger, cut without losing muscle, maintain. Like all of these play a very important factor, right? And carbs are very essential for building the muscle back up and giving you the energy to do that. One thing I tried was carnivore for a little bit. And I realized without carbs, I went to the gym and I was fucking dead, dude. Like, it's not necessarily a bad diet. You can still get stuff out of it, but the difference is relying on more protein for energy. It's not as effective as carbs, if that makes sense. You can use it. You got to eat a good amount of it, but you're gonna need to get used to it. And when I got used to it, the energy just didn't feel as good for me personally. Some people are great on it. Depends on who you are. But I doubt any of you new guys are carnivore. But if you are, there's a little carnivore side tip for you. But I'm gonna go back into form here. But watch YouTube videos. Like, there's plenty of YouTube videos out there. I'm probably going to upload some in the future about form, like bench form, squat form, deadlift form, incline bench press form, like all of this stuff that's key to growing your muscle to make sure you're doing it right. Like, there's so many little things you wouldn't think of, like a bench press, right? A lot of people are like, okay, push the barbell up and down, right? There's a lot more to it. Bring it down to your chest. Keep your butt down. Push it up. You want the bar to make kind of like a J. It's kind of weird. But little things like that will really help with your gains and help make sure you're lifting it right. And like, just like foot placement on squat. Shit gets so complicated, man. Hard to explain all of it in one video. But maybe I'll cook up something, something in the future to help you guys with it. But any other thing else I can think of with you guys that are starting the gym? I think, okay, here's another one. Working out days, like your workout days and your rest days. Your newer guys, you can hit it a lot harder than, say, I can. I go 4 days a week, and that gives me solid, a solid amount of tension in my muscles. You newer guys, you can hit it like 6 days a week. Give yourself a rest day, though. Do not give yourself rest days. Give yourself one rest day at least. As you get better, you're going to have a plateau point. That's where you're going to start having to cut down on the days or cut down on how intense those workouts are. A lot of little things like that. And, you guys can get there. Just watch how many days you're going. You don't want to be too exhausted. You want to make sure you give your body time to recover. But yeah, watch those. And it's kind of it there, right? Summarize all those things in your head. Do them. Watch some other videos. Like, there's plenty of good people out there. Like, Jeff Nippard goes over a lot of good stuff. He's my go-to. Sometimes when I'm watching Sam Sulek, he'll just spit out random cool facts. I'm like, okay, that's cool to know, especially with his grocery hauls and stuff. I love learning about nutrition. But yeah, find sources of information for this stuff, right? I'm not the best. I don't know everything, but I know a decent amount to get you guys started. So, anyways, you guys have a great rest of your day or night, whenever time you're watching this. Currently night for me. So, good night, guys. Sleep good. Stay lean. Get jacked.